It is jumping here in Inglewood tonight for the 115th meeting between the Arizona Wildcats and the UCLA Bruins. And it is UCLA that controls the opening tap.
Well, something to watch for early on here, Brandon, is the physicality of this game. Certainly with Arizona, their size, one of the most physical teams in college basketball. Whether it's Xavier Booker or it's Steven Jamerson, how do those guys handle it?
And there is Koa Pete with the first rebound. Both of these teams 3-0 on the young season. Burries short.
That's going to be a story as well. The tempo. UCLA wants to slow it down. Arizona wants to get it to go. That's a good look there by Braden Burries early on.
UCLA rather easy wins over Eastern Washington, Pepperdine, and West Georgia. Arizona, that big win over Florida on opening night. They're 3-0 coming into this one as well. Inside, ball loose, taken away.
I just don't like UCLA's spacing on that possession. You got to move the basketball, and certainly that floor, everything's so condensed.
An early whistle. Jeff Anderson wants the cheerleaders to back up off the inline a little bit.
They have crammed. It looks like photographers in with the cheerleaders.
And he is moving the entire cheerleading crew off of the baseline. That's the power of Jeffrey Heine's Anderson.
Making a statement early.
Less than a minute in, they've already been dislodged. Burries, another three. This one is long. Offensive rebound, though, to Krivas.
Arizona as good as just about anybody in college basketball and going and getting their misses. And it's a big point of emphasis for UCLA early on in this game.
What, Burries isn't shy, and he buries that one, does Burries.
Well, he struggled in the first game against Florida, but the last two, 40% from three. He is an elite scorer, scored it at such a high clip in high school. Just a matter of time. He gets those looks, he can knock them down.
Both him and Pete, top 15 recruits. Booker, yes, the Michigan State transfer ties us at 3.
1 of 4 from 3 on the year. Booker took a ton of them at Michigan State. This year more going inside, but they're not guarding him. He makes them pay from the perimeter.
Here is Koa Pete. He traveled. Yeah, he shuffled his feet.
Sky Clark, you got that switch. He's going to have to hold his ground there. Here's the threes. Burries so aggressive early on. That crossover, step back. That's right in the face of Eric Daly. And Xavier Booker, look at the way that they're guarding him here. I mean, Krivas is just totally sagging off and daring him to take it.
There's Sky Clark, another one of the senior leaders from right here in LA. That was pretty.
That is right there, right back at you, Braden Burries. Just one-on-one. Pretty good defense, but better offense from Clark.
Second year at UCLA for Sky Clark after stops at Illinois and Louisville. And he just lost his footing to Ivan Karchinkov, and it's a turnover.
What a start for Xavier Booker, knocking down the three and then defending there. Sky Clark, this is right in front of us. Just the crossover, step it back, and leave Braden Burries in the dust.
Boy, Rob, the combination of Clark and Dent, pretty good backcourt.
No question. This UCLA starting five is very talented. They're going to need more off their bench, but this five, it's a good place to start.
But that time, Dent threw it away behind Clark. Well, Mick Cronin, of course, guided UCLA into the Big Ten last year from the Pac-12, lost in the second round to Tennessee of the NCAA tournament, but he feels like he certainly has a contender this year. UCLA third in the preseason poll in the Big Ten behind Purdue and Michigan. Meanwhile, Arizona got it up to Pete. 15-footer.
Foul.
Yep. He'll head to the line.
Boy, both Booker and Den. It was a bad gamble from Eric Daly. If you're going to go for that, you better get it. You put your defense in a bad spot, and then the lack of discipline here. I mean, you could call either of these guys. They just hammer Koa Pete on that jumper.
Koa Pete, so impressive. You mentioned what he did in his debut against Florida, 30 points. Not as was explosive the last 2 games, 10 against Northern Arizona. But the thing that impresses me, Robbie, just looking at him, physically, he is a specimen.
No, he's a grown man.
And they're going to get a lane violation. He's going to get another free throw.
Booker went in early. And Koa Pete, what a winner. The 3 gold medals in the World Cup. You've got 4 state championships. And Booker just kind of gets tricked into going in. And Arizona steals a point.
Daly with a dribble handoff. Here's Clark.
And UCLA likes to play this 5 out. They'll move the ball around the perimeter. And Arizona, they'll try to disrupt here a little bit.
And Donovan Dent starts to charge, and Karchinkov called for the foul. Well, Tommy Lloyd, Sweet 16 in 3 of his 4 seasons there in Arizona, but with the team that he has assembled this year, and with that win over Florida, I think he might have eyes on the Final Four this year.
Absolutely. You've got some really good veteran players in Awaka and Jaden Bradley, and then you mix that with some uber talented freshmen. I really like this Arizona ball club.
You talked about how big, how physical they are, and how important that is for UCLA tonight.
Tough shot there for Eric Daly.
Aristode, whoa! Trying to chase it down, Dent. He will eventually let it go out of bounds. UCLA basketball.
Aristode hit 6 threes in the win against Northern Arizona, but certainly you love the shooting. It seems like some of the other parts of his game are still going really fast. There's no doubting he's got a lot of ability as well. You talk about Burries a ton, obviously Koa Pete. Aristode is super talented.
So is this guy, Sky Clark. Dent, Mountain West Player of the Year last season at New Mexico. Off the bounce, yes.
Well, that's something that he can certainly do. With his speed, he can blow by and get downhill. Early in this season, just 8 of 15 on shots at the rim. Has to convert at a higher level. That's a good start there for Donovan Dent.
Rob mentioned missed the last game with a muscle strain. They were just being cautious, said he could have played. They wanted to rest him for tonight. Burries off the bounce. He thought he got fouled, no whistle. Dent, kick out. There's Daly. Book it.
That's a totally different look right there than Eric Daly's first 3. Get a stop. You've got to get the rebound. And then Donovan Dent is just pushing tempo, finding his shooter.
Good start for UCLA. They knock it out of bounds there and send us to our first media timeout. What an atmosphere in Inglewood.
Boy, Donovan Dent getting it going early on. The first time it's for his own offense. Crossover dribble, loves getting downhill with that right hand over the top of the shot blocker, and then in the open floor, finding Eric Daly, setting the table. Daly rising up and cashing out.
It has continued, even though the Pac-12 conference did not.
And they played last year in Phoenix. 3-point win for UCLA. Aristode in and out. And Rob, I think that's the kind of game that UCLA would like again tonight. Lower scoring,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah, they want to keep this game in the 50s or 60s if they can. That was a good example on that last possession of UCLA's defense being hooked up in the sense that when Koa Pete spins, they want to go and take that away from him. Now, Aristode got a good look, but you've got to be hooked up on what Pete is doing out there at all times.
Well, you know Mick Cronin's teams are going to bust it on the defensive end. They got their work cut out for them tonight. 7 to shoot. Dent kicks it to the corner. There's Clark.
Boy, what a look, though, from Donovan Dent. Playing off 2 feet, surveying the defense, and setting the table.
Strong rebound by Awaka. Now setting the table, Jaden Bradley. He is the leader of this team, number 0. Even though the freshmen are the stars, like this guy. Pete left it short.
Well, how about Xavier Booker, though, coming over and contesting that? Now, that's what Tobe Awaka does. 11 offensive rebounds the last 2. You have got to close down possessions if you're UCLA, but credit Awaka for that motor. Bilodeau, that trap has got to be better. Koa Pete can't just split through there, but Xavier Booker hanging around. And there's no doubt that UCLA is looking to sell out the stop 2s and make Arizona prove it from 3.
You got to know where Awaka is, one of the best rebounders in the country. Aristode down the lane. Rejected. My, what a block that time from Steven Jamerson. I think Jamerson got poked in the eye, but he's back on offense. Here is Jamerson, transfer from San Diego. Yes, he finds Bilodeau.
If Arizona's going to put 2 on the ball, you've got to find the short roller. Great job by Jamerson at getting out.
Pete. They tried to stop a 7-0 run, but Pete off the mark. Well, an ideal start for the Bruins so far.
So far, these UCLA bigs have been up to the task of matching the physicality.
What a matchup this is. Bilodeau and Pete draws the foul. Count it! Tyler Bilodeau!
You can't script a better start for UCLA here. They really haven't played well yet this season. They're 3-0. They beat Eastern Washington. They beat Pepperdine. The West Georgia game a little bit uneven, but it has been a different story tonight. Like Bilodeau just kind of baiting Koa Pete into that foul, and then here's the pick and roll. You get that out to Jamerson. Great cut from Bilodeau on the baseline. That is clinical on how you handle a trapping defense in pick and roll. Talking about one of the best to ever play the game of basketball. He just showed him on the Jumbotron, and obviously the building went nuts.
That'll be coming up at the under 8 media timeout with Kareem over here. But good to see those tie-dye shirts honoring Bill tonight, and certainly Bill liking this start for UCLA as he looks down from above. Down inside, Owaka, powerful, rejected. Second block early for Jamerson.
I am really impressed, and we're only 7 minutes into this thing, but Xavier Booker and Steven Jamerson have been ready to play. UCLA is swarming on Arizona around the rim. Anything in the painted area, you're seeing multiple Bruins fly to the basketball.
Well, they have met the physicality challenge early, but there's a big triple from Anthony Delorso.
Well, now 6 of his last 12 from beyond the three-point line. He's clearly worked on his body defensively a little bit better this season, but that's what he does. He is a shot maker from 3.
Started last year, off the bench this year, and instant offense. And there's a turnover by the Bruins. But that three-pointer by Delorso ended a drought of over 4 minutes.
He just kind of gets out of that action, and a little step-back jumper, NBA range. How about the selflessness of both him and Tobe Owaka to be okay, even though they're older players, they've been in the program, okay with coming off the bench this season.
Yeah, giving up their spots in the lineup to young freshmen for the betterment of the team. No whistle. Owaka with a little bully ball.
They're letting him play tonight. Mick Cronin not happy.
And then a turnover.
And he stepped over the end line.
On the inbound pass, careless, and back to Arizona it goes when we return.
Yes.
But right now, a little spurt for Arizona. And they get it right inside to Krivas.
Well, UCLA just got mismatched there. Sky Clark getting matched up on Krivas, and Arizona recognizes it, and with that physicality, just discards Clark.
There's a 7-0 run in less than a minute for the Cats. Dent fading, no.
Pretty good defense there. Braden Burry is forcing Dent into a tough contested mid-range.
And Burry's getting bumped on the other end, but they're going to call it a travel.
There's no question that Braden Burries has been looking to establish himself offensively, and he took the first 4 field goal attempts of the game for Arizona. And then Krivas, you got Dent down there. Clark was on him originally. Good recognition there by Arizona to see, hey, UCLA has got one of their smaller defenders on our biggest guy.
Keep in mind for Burries, he's a Southern California native. A lot of friends and family watching him here back home tonight.
Good rotation there from Krivas. He was right there waiting on Bilodeau.
Bilodeau over the top.
You will live with that if you're Arizona. You get that type of contest. That was really good team defense.
And it's tough to get it over Krivas at 7-2. Delorso hit one from deep earlier.
Look at the way UCLA is just camping. And that's Sky Clark is guarding Dwayne Aristotle. He obviously can shoot.
But Del Orso can shoot. He's feeling it early.
This role of him coming off the bench and just hunting his offense with the way he shoots the ball, Arizona, they can be lethal with this second unit.
Senior from Australia hitting 2 of them. Now Booker hits his second.
Pick and pop, and there is just nobody there for Xavier Booker. We've known, you watch him at Michigan State, a lot of talent, but here tonight, it is coming to fruition.
Well, what's interesting, and you kind of mentioned it earlier, Rob, is Mick Cronin said we want Booker to be a 5 inside, but he's hitting the shots from outside tonight, as is Del Orso.
First one here, Anthony Del Orso is able with this matchup. He just steps it right back. That's 2 tough threes that he's made early on. And Xavier Booker, pick and pop. You look at his shot diet this year coming into tonight, 14 twos versus just 4 threes. That's totally different from last season.
There's Koa Pete finding his way to the rim for 2.
He is going to be a problem for UCLA inside that painted area. Just the physicality he brings, the touch that he's got.
And Mick Cronin said, yeah, I know Koa Pete all too well. I recruited him for several years. Booker that time, no.
Good rebound by Jaden Bradley.
Del Orso blow by, and the reverse.
With the shots he's made, that hesitation, he sells that totally with his eyes. And then the blow by on Booker, how about the finish on the reverse?
Arizona fans making their voices heard on a 14-3 run to grab the lead. Travel, yep. Bilodeau thought he got bumped.
Anthony Del Orso playing with so much confidence. Arizona getting out and running. There's that hezzy and go. And the finish there with Xavier Booker at 6'11", hounding him, using the other side of that rim to get that thing to the glass.
A couple of the seniors getting a blow right now for Mick Cronin. Pete rips and drives, then kicks to his freshman buddy Burries. Shot clock at 5. Cross court, whoa! Too tall on the pass to Bradley.
That's going to be there, though, for Koa Pete, especially when he's got a mismatch with one of these UCLA guards. The Bruins are going to flood that side. They're going to bring multiple bodies. The skip pass will be there.
Both teams 5 turnovers. Booker. Wow, he's having a strong first half.
This is the best I've ever seen Xavier Booker play. Between the 2 years at Michigan State and certainly his start to the year has been good for the Bruins. But against this level of competition, this is the best game of his career.
I'm with you, Rob. God, it was so highly touted out of Indiana in high school. And this time he's blocking the shot of Koa Pete.
Pete's going to have an understanding that the help is coming. And even no matter who's guarding him, they are going to be hanging around. Brandon Williams staying between him and the basket, and Xavier Booker cleaning it up.
UCLA has 12 blocks this year. Booker has 9 of them after that one right there. Del Orso, he's got to go here. Daly all over him.
But good defense there. Eric Daly closing out, taking away the jumper, containing the bounce.
Now Daly on the other end. Leaning in, got it.
He is going to wheel and deal and find his way to his left hand. The balance on display there, and then the pivot to get to the strong left.
Del Orso lets another one go.
UCLA fortunate. If you're going to switch onto Del Orso, Brandon Williams, you better switch up to take away that jumper.
Everybody catches their breath for a second. Now Dent trying to blow by. Pass deflected. That was Burries who got his hands on it. Up ahead. Bradley lays it in.
What a pass from Anthony Del Orso. He just leads Jaden Bradley. It's like a receiver running a go route. Arizona getting something easy in the open floor.
This is exactly what we hope for here in this ball game tonight. What a fun one.
This pick and pop is getting Xavier Booker whatever he wants.
off the mark that time.
Let's see how long Arizona is willing to give that up. They might feel like this is a little bit of fool's gold and see if Xavier Booker can continuously prove it.
Strong rebound in there by Daly.
This is just isolation. They're clearing this whole side out.
He fades away and left it short.
You can get that whenever you want if you're Eric Daly Jr.
Timeout on the floor. 1 point lead for the Bruins.
UCLA looking to get Eric Daly going. Had the knee injury in October, missed their first game. He is going to wheel and deal and find that left. Anthony Del Orso leading the Arizona break. This is a beautiful pass.
Really appreciated about him. He understood the fans. He understood them better than I did.
How important, Kareem, was Bill Walton to fans of the Pac-12 conference? He was such a voice for the league. He would love that these two teams are playing tonight.
Oh yeah, he'd love to see that. You know, to see a competent athletic union, you know, working. You know, the Big Ten is now trying to establish itself as they want to be taken seriously, and I think they've done a great job. You know, they've established themselves. They're on TV the way they should be, and we're going to see if we can get some championships out of this.
Well, you and Bill obviously both went to UCLA, but you didn't overlap there. And in the NBA, Kareem, you were rivals, so that friendship, most people would think, well, they must have played together, but it just developed out of a long-time rivalry.
I met Bill when Bill was still in high school, and I was in LA. The season was over for me, and he knew I was in town. He came by the hotel he wanted to know, you know, what I was all about, and we hit it off right away. A really interesting guy, and for a long time, he was all about being a hippie. And he had, you know, he came to see me at the hotel, and he wasn't wearing any underwear.
That's a nice image.
Oh my God! But Coach Wooden cured him of that. I believe Coach Wooden got to him. He told him to get his hair cut, and Bill didn't want to do it. And then Coach Wooden, he wouldn't be playing. And Bill lined up right away, and the rest is history.
Yeah, I would say Coach Wood, that's a guy that when he tells you what to do, you listen. Good thing Bill did. As you watch this game tonight, I know it's obviously a game that has changed a lot, but what strikes you? There's a lot of incredible athletes out there on the floor tonight.
There's a lot of, excuse me, a lot of young talent, and the game has gained a lot of fans, you know, here in our country and around the world. I'm surprised at that. I didn't know it would catch on like that. They got leagues everywhere.
There's a foul going to send it the other way. It's been an incredible first half, 24-21. We're visiting with the legend, the Hall of Famer, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Kareem, you made a living with the sky hook, and it's gone away, but it's an unguardable shot. Why do you think that we don't see anybody take it anymore?
I don't think anyone's teaching it to people. I learned it because of another Laker, George Mikan. He had a drill that he did, teach you how to use either hand, and teaches you good footwork. And that really, it really helped me through my career. I wouldn't have played as long as I did if it hadn't been for what I'd learned about the basics of the game.
Well, you were one of the best to ever do it. There's no question about it. And it's great to have you talk about another great in Bill Walton. Thanks so much for spending some time with us.
You know, they've done a good job all year of taking care of the ball. And even Arizona hasn't been awful considering their tempo. You know, they play so fast at times. Both teams a little careless here. The offensive glass hasn't been a factor for the Wildcats. And certainly the pace of this game is exactly what Mick Cronin wants.
Well, I think Booker traveled. Yes, he did. So another turnover, making now 18 between the two teams.
Well, and that's where Xavier Booker has got to embrace the physicality of the game. You know, they're trying to pressure him, and he is just so off balance with it.
But going back, how special to visit with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
You're talking to one of the greatest players to ever play basketball. And just has a fascinating life of the game that he's played forever, and then the acting and the philanthropy and everything that he's accomplished in his life. And that's pretty cool to get to sit next to him.
And as we honor Bill Wilton tonight, a chance for him to talk about his dear friend. Owaka can't get it. Krivas. And
Look
then
out.
Bradley. Eventually, Krivas cleans it up.
And that's the fear for UCLA, is that Arizona is eventually going to overwhelm you on the offensive glass. First it's Owaka, but then it's Krivas getting it done.
Inside of 3 minutes here in what's been a great first half. Booker from 15. No.
They've continued to give that up and give Arizona some credit. They weathered the storm early of Booker making the 2 threes in that little floater, but he's gone a little bit cold. And you think about it, if you're guarding UCLA, you don't want Donovan Dent getting to the rim. You don't want Tyler Bilodeau getting his game. Xavier Booker is the 3rd or 4th option out there. They're living with his shots.
Now, curious to see what adjustments might be made at intermission on both ends. Krivas gives it up. Bradley. Del Orso right back to Bradley. Owaka with the seconds ticking away. Can't get the hook.
A good contest there by Xavier Booker. UCLA's guards a little bit behind. What a steal from Burries.
But he can't finish. Booker with clean defense. Been a tough start for Burries. 1 of 5 from the floor. Taken away though. 3 on 3. Burries again. And they're going to get a blocking foul. Boy, Sky Clark thought he had taken a charge. Instead, he picks up his second.
The spacing here, I think Sky Clark is still definitely sliding to his right. But the spacing by Arizona on the break is not very good. Everybody is crammed towards the middle of the floor.
Yeah, one of those guys has to fan out, right?
You just got to give yourself some room.
So Clark will sit.
Well, they can just throw this up. Trent Perry giving up a ton of size.
And then out to Del Orso. 3 more.
Well, that's the convergence of UCLA's defense. Because they're switching on those under out of bounds, Krivas has the advantage over Perry. The defense collapses. You cannot lose track of Anthony Del Orso on the 3-point line.
Dent hanging.
Well, good contest. That was Del Orso going vertical.
He has been the story so far for Arizona, number 3 in Navy.
He looks like a guy that's really worked on his game and his body this summer.
Here he goes again.
He had some struggles last year in the NCAA tournament. Clearly, it was communicated to him that he has got to get stronger, be a more defensive-minded player, but he's still a killer on the offensive end. It's the jump shot. It's going to the rim. Anthony Del Orso with 13 points. Each other and moving that rock.
What does Mick Cronin do here out of the timeout?
Good job by Owaka of just blowing up that high-low.
Perry. And he'll head to the line.
Trent Perry coming off the best game of his career. That's Georgia career highs in points and assists with 17 and 9. He's worked on his body too. And you think about that. That's a kid that didn't get a ton of opportunity last year. Stuck around. He's a Los Angeles kid. And he's getting a major opportunity to show what he can do now.
A kid that was highly sought after out of high school. Misses the first free throw. Tomorrow on Peacock, Clemson at Georgetown, LaSalle, Penn State, Maryland, Marquette, Drexel, Syracuse. Busy day of hoops. Game 1 tonight. Illinois State fell to USC. Rodney Rice had a triple-double for the Trojans, and now in the nightcap, a dandy, a top 15 battle here. Del Orso, oh my. Looked good out of his hand.
Oh,
and
what a rebound.
battle. They're going to call a jump ball, and it will go the other way.
Yesterday at UCLA's practice, Mick Cronin was really concerned about the Arizona Duck-ins. And give Booker and Jamerson a lot of credit, because when Arizona's bigs have looked to crash them in, as that ball swings, they've met the opportunity physically.
I don't think you want to upset Mick Cronin.
No. He coaches these guys hard, man, but at the same time, they've got the relationship player to coach where he can.
2-second difference here, shot and game clock. Dent with 3 on the timer. Spinning, Dent, blocked. Yeah, that shot clock expired. Now they're going to have to look at the clock here. I think there's probably going to be about a second and a half remaining. We'll see what they do.
Donovan Dent, 1 of 4 from the field, 3 turnovers.
Baseline out of bounds, though, like it was
it's
back
a weird
in '92.
angle.
It is. Burries will start it. Bradley, one-hander. No. Arizona 28, UCLA 25 in what was a physical first half.
It really was. There's no question about it. UCLA and Arizona loading up on everything to the middle of the floor.
Bradley down inside. Mo Krivas, the big man from Lithuania, left it short.
Look at Xavier Booker coming over. Bilodeau held his ground, but Booker has affected a number of shots tonight.
We are just 15 miles from Pauley Pavilion. You can hear the UCLA fans in here tonight. Off the mark for Booker. Rebound to Koa Pete.
UCLA loading up. They are not giving anything there for Koa Pete in the open floor.
Well, you mentioned it, just 4 points for Pete, trying to add to it. He'll go to the line.
I like that action. Get to that quick pick and roll. You get Xavier Booker moving. Get Koa Pete in space and let him go to work. Quick dribble handoff. He's out of there quickly. Xavier Booker not set. Pete bringing the physicality, little shot fake, get Booker up in the air. Maybe that gets the talented freshman going.
But he misses the first free throw. Even though he's been quiet tonight, you think about all the talented freshmen in the country. A.J. DePonce, BYU, Darren Peterson, Kansas, Caleb Wilson, North Carolina. And he's right there with them. And he, as we said, he made his presence felt in that first game. We'll see what he can do in the second half.
You're not going to give Cam Boozer love?
Boozer, yes. Okay. Nate Amen at Tennessee.
You're a Butler guy, so I'm not surprised.
I would throw
that dates back to 2010.
I'd throw Darius Acuff in the mix too. Three-pointer for number 3, Eric Daly Jr.
He has shot the ball well in his 2 games. He's 61% from the field, 60 from 3 coming in. He can make those shots. They've got to get Eric Daly on track.
Meanwhile, Krivas with a 2-handed flush.
That's where Bilodeau cannot gamble and shoot through that passing lane. You've got to play solid. You know the help's coming over, but you give him an angle like that, it is game over.
Mo Krivas injured his foot last year, only played 8 games, had surgery, but he's back and ready for a big junior campaign. Dent right at Krivas, gets the bounce.
He's going right at the freshman there, Karchenkov. He's got plenty of space to operate. Donovan Dent doing Donovan Dent things, getting downhill.
Krivas fading, 2 more.
That's a big-time shot because Bilodeau that time did kind of push him off the block. Xavier Booker hanging around there. That's not an easy jump hook from 7 or 8 feet.
Nobody can separate. It's been a good one from the jump.
There's just a juice in this building. It feels like a big-time game.
Yeah, mid-November, we've had some dandies early on in the college hoop season. Rebound comes down to Bradley. He'll push. He'll leave for Karchenkov, but he left it short.
Well, he is searching for his jumper. He's 0 for his last 9 from the field. But They've found something here with Mo Krivas. Bilodeau goes through that passing lane. There's no help for that. And then once you give up an easy one, now shots like this, you find that rhythm. Booker coming over to double. You spin away from it. That's pretty impressive touch there from Mo Krivas.
Having trouble getting it in, and Arizona is going to burn a timeout. 17:20 remaining, second half action here at Inglewood.
Called a number of games. His son Luke played for the Wildcats. He was so important, I feel like, to the Pac-12 conference and for everybody that loved college hoops in this country, of staying up late, watching the games on the West Coast. He is dearly missed, and what an icon in this sport.
Yep, and you said Pac-12, he would say
the
Conference of Champions.
Yes, I love that. And this is a vintage Conference of Champions matchup tonight.
Boy, it really is. Continuing, even though they're now in different conferences. Arizona obviously in the Big 12, UCLA in the Big 10, but they met last year in Phoenix. UCLA winning by 3. Right now it's Arizona by 3 here in LA. And Dent getting into the lane and making it a 1-point game.
I like that they're getting him in space and letting him get downhill. That's where he's at his best. Just to put a bow on the Bill Walton stuff, these two programs need to keep playing. It's just so good for the sport.
Owaka pinball back to him. Well, Rob, it's one of the best rivalries in college basketball.
No question. And the history of it, all the great players that have played for these two programs, the way they continue to be, they're always ranked in the top 15 or 20 teams in the country. We need more of this.
There's members of the Pac-10 and the Pac-12 together from '78 until the season before last. Blocked from behind by Burries. 2-on-1. Karchenkov to the rim.
It seemed like in that first half, Brandon, Braden Burries maybe a little bit overwhelmed with the fact that he's playing back at home. That's a great defensive sequence right there. The help defense, you're in the right spot, and then active with the hands.
And here comes another leak out. It's Karchenkov again. Yes!
These UCLA turnovers are absolutely killing them. Now, there was a wet spot on the floor there, but they have just given points away. That's now 18 points off 14 UCLA turnovers. They are getting out and going. Braden Burries, known for his offense, doing it on the defensive end. Karchenkov doing the rest. He struggled offensively, but 2 layups back-to-back, and just like that, Arizona getting out and playing with tempo. On anything that was happening in the painted area. That's not been the case, but you know, it's hard to guard the paint when you're getting out and running at disadvantage basketball.
7-point lead for the Wildcats. Bilodeau, yes, they needed it, and the senior delivers.
Well, Owaka was in to guard the dribble. He was in help position, maybe just a little bit too much room there. You've got to get out and close out to Tyler Bilodeau.
Bilodeau 7 points now. How about that from Tobe Owaka?
That's another paint basket right there. Arizona has kind of cracked the code. They're finding some weaknesses in this UCLA interior defense.
The senior from Hyde Park, New York. Now on the other end, Bilodeau starting to heat up.
That was high level from Bilodeau. There's 2 on the ball with that trap. He finds that open area. He loves the turnaround jumper.
So he's got 9 now, had a team-high 21 in the win on Monday against West Georgia for the Bruins. Owaka rips and drives right to the rim around Booker.
Like Xavier Booker kind of just standing straight up, and Tobe Owaka rips it down the right lane line, showing off the handle.
Dent fouled, count it! It rattles down.
And all of a sudden, everyone in this game is on fire. Just trading baskets back and forth. The execution here, Donovan Dent snakes this back. Owaka's in to stop the ball, but he's got to be inching back towards Tyler Bilodeau. Then the pick and roll, Owaka putting it on multiple Bruins heads. That was quite the sequence there, and all of a sudden, offense everywhere.
And Donovan Dent mentioned his time at New Mexico. He had 17 and 8 last year when New Mexico upset UCLA. Mick Cronin said, I want that guy on my team, and he's got him this year. Burries, no. Offensive rebound. Krivas needs a friend. Dent knocked it out of bounds. They're going to say, though, it went off of Arizona.
Well, Donovan Dent has been so much more engaged. It's on the offensive end, but also flying around. He gets a hand on that ball and knocks it off the leg of Krivas.
These are the moments that Dent dreamed of from LA. A game like this in his hometown. He's got it here. Left it short.
That rim protection by Krivas. High-level stuff. That's a tough shot.
He's all over Bradley. Bradley with the crease. Blocked by Bilodeau. It'll stay here.
Good job by Tyler Bilodeau there. Because Donovan Dent was never able to square the ball up with Bradley, he never went away. And you are not leaving until your guard gets back up underneath. Now, he's hanging out, and his job of just not quitting on the play.
Del Orso, nice pass. Owaka hanging and drawing the foul.
I've been really impressed with just the totality of Anthony Del Orso's game tonight. You know, he would not be denied coming off this screen. Took an interesting angle. It's a great pass. And certainly, if you're UCLA and you've got a Walker around the rim, you are taking a hard foul. 58% from the line. You're making him earn it.
He misses the first. Well, women's college basketball back on NBC and Peacock. Battle the top 25 teams. Number 14, Michigan, taking on All-American Hannah Hidalgo, and number 18, Notre Dame in the Shamrock Classic tomorrow 4 Eastern on NBC and Peacock. Misses both.
It is carnage in the lane.
Well, they've got a 5-on-3. Booker, did he travel? Yes. He took 2 steps after he caught that ball.
There's been some fast breaks tonight that will not be in the Basketball Hall of Fame. And that, just throw that one in there.
This is such a great venue. They built this arena last year. It's the home of the Clippers, of course, in the NBA. But tonight, a great spot for college hoops. Krivas in the lane with a right, yes.
But Xavier Booker has to understand the personnel. Mo Krivas is not popping to shoot that. You're closing out like he's a threat from 15 feet, and he just blows right by you.
Dent on the other end, rejected by Krivas. He's doing it on both ends.
What a sequence he's had here.
Del Orso, too much.
Man, he's flying around. I like this.
Yeah, you can tell the rivalry still exists. Krivas and Bilodeau separated. That's the second on the Lithuanian native.
And this closeout as if he's looking to put this up from 15 feet, and he just blows right by Xavier Booker. Krivas certainly impacts that shot with getting a piece, and he is flying in here. He is playing incredibly hard.
Well, Rob, coming into last year, his sophomore season, before the foot injury, he was a projected NBA pick.
Well, what an embarrassment of riches that they had from their bigs last year with Vesar. If you had Krivas healthy, you've got a Waka. If they had kept Vesar, look, you probably don't have Koa Pete, but there's been some good bigs. Whoa!
Daly rising and flushing. That gave some juice to the Bruin faithful. Koa Pete, been a quiet night for the freshman. He traveled.
He shuffled his feet. We've seen him do that a couple times tonight. And how about Sky Clark? That's the second time we've seen him get matched up with a bigger player and just hold his own.
Those UCLA students behind this basket engaged. And now they're really going nuts. We are tied. driving on Clark, fading, in and out. A bucket here, they may explode. Clark will set the table from 17. Yes!
What a screen right there from Stephen Jamerson. He just picks off that on-ball defender. Sky Clark walks into a 15-footer.
Almost stolen by Jamerson. 7-0 run for the Bruins, first lead since the first half. Jamerson takes it away. Clark fakes, hangs, and gets fouled. And both teams go to their respective benches with 10:59 to play.
It looked like Arizona was going to push. It's been a tale of two halves for many players out here. Tyler Bilodeau, 8 of his 12 coming in the second half. He's got it going. A guy that had a big game against Arizona last year with 17 in that win. And then Anthony Del Orso, as good as he was in the first half with his 13, he has not scored after the break.
And Rava, keep waiting for more from Koa Pete and Braden Burries, the highly touted freshman for Arizona. But credit Mick Cronin's crew, they have kept those guys in check.
That scouting report to load up on the paint, they have taken those guys away. You think about, even as talented as both Burries and Pete are, they're still freshmen. They're still 18 years old.
Now, this is their 4th college game. And what an atmosphere to play in.
Sky Clark just blew up every one of those ball screens.
There is Pete. He's harassed again and has it stripped.
That is a high-level defensive possession. It's Sky Clark on the ball, and then it's Brandon Williams going three-quarter and getting a piece.
Tommy Lloyd irate. He wanted a whistle. Stepping into a 3, Williams airballs it. Jamerson saved it to Arizona. Now they got a leak out. And Del Orso is fouled by Sky Clark. That is the 3rd on the senior from right here in Los Angeles, Sky Clark.
You appreciate Jamerson's hustle, but you save this going towards Arizona's basket, and you just ignite this break. And Del Orso getting in on the action in the open floor. Clark clearly getting his arm.
You mentioned it, all 13 in the first half for Del Orso. Changes that there. Well, folks, it's Big Ten Saturday night. UCLA on the gridiron against #1 Ohio State. Tomorrow on NBC at Peacock, here comes Saturday night, presented by Discover. Del Orso gets both. That stops what had been a 9-0 run for the Bruins.
A good job by Arizona's defense there. UCLA went with that Spain back screen. They just switched it all and took it away.
Perry. Back up top, Dent. Gives it back to Perry. A little two-man game as the shot clock dwindles. Offensive rebound, Williams no. And Del Orso clears it. Tommy Lloyd over there directing traffic in his 5th year as the head man at Arizona.
I'd like to see Arizona maybe just a little pick and pop with Pete and have him rip the lane line, but they haven't been able to get him going downhill.
How about this guy? No.
What a good fight there from Stephen Jamerson. I mean, he's battling multiple Arizona offensive players there.
Yeah, Jamerson hasn't scored, but he's put in some good minutes.
No, he has. He has certainly, with Xavier Booker on the bench, he has played his part.
Number 24 in white. Corner 3, Daly, yes!
And that's why they brought Donovan Dent. To get downhill, you draw that help defense. That's a terrific read. Eric Daly has this thing going from 3.
Daly has 13. He had 18 in this building last year when UCLA beat Gonzaga.
Oh,
There's
wow.
Koa Pete taking it to the rack.
That is grown man basketball. I just would like to see Arizona get him in some space and let him take these UCLA bigs off the dribble.
Only 7 for Pete. Dent. Offensive rebound. Williams, no.
Williams is just kind of flipping these things up there. I know Arizona has some imposing shot blockers, but he's got to be more composed. That was very fortunate for Arizona, and a good timeout by Tommy Lloyd.
Brandon Williams picks up the personal.
I like this. Fake that dribble handoff and just rip the lane line. That's a get out of my way like drive. Brandon Williams finding out the hard way.
Talked about Koa Pete, how physically imposing he is, and had that 30-point game, and in the opener, just 7 tonight. Here he goes again. Offensive. Trent Perry all smiles.
Well, Mick Cronin has said for Trent Perry to get more time. That's definitely an offensive foul with the discard. He's got to take care of the basketball and defend his position. That's him right there, just moving his feet and drawing a monster offensive foul.
3 on Pete. He sits. Perry looking into Bilodeau, can't get it in there.
A good job by Burries of pushing Bilodeau off that block.
Eric Daly Jr. 2 to put it up. Booker fading. Whoa, a friendly bounce.
He has a lot of ability. And Xavier Booker has given this UCLA offense a shot of life tonight.
Burries. Another offensive foul on Arizona. Timeout on the floor with the Bruins up a handful.
This game has been an absolute battle here. Xavier Booker has to put this thing up. Gets to that turnaround, the soft roll on the rim, and then Tyler Bilodeau, he is planted before that plant foot. That's an offensive foul, and UCLA's defense getting it done.
Welcome to the Gordon's postgame catch.
One said, you should take this Dent guy. He did, but now he comes back to UCLA. Bilodeau in and out and back down.
With that hard hedge that Arizona is bringing, it's in that horn set. You're never going to be able to get back to the flare that's coming. Awaka so aggressive initially. Tyler Bilodeau comes off the flare, and he's wide open.
Bilodeau now with 15. He is 6 of 7 from the floor.
There's that aggressive hard hedge, and then the flare screen. You know, Krivas has got to see that and understand with Bilodeau, you've got to switch that out and live with whatever happens with Xavier Booker behind you.
Spinning Bradley. Boy, both rims have been kind here in the second half.
Boy, and they need to get more of that from him. That's only 4 points. He's now 2 of 6 from the field for a guy that has played so well early in this season.
These NBA rims soft tonight for the boys.
It wasn't for you in the horse game this afternoon.
No, Robbie took it to me. You played in the NBA, played in high school, so.
Did you play in high school?
A little bit. Yeah, Dent, drive and dish. Daly, no. Who does it out off of? It's off of Burries. It belongs to the Bruins.
Bilodeau pursuing it. Burries in the conversation as well. The effort by both these teams exerted. This is one of those games where you just don't want it to end.
Dent. A little short. Krivas clears it.
He definitely affected that. Good contest from Krivas.
6-point game as we approach 6 minutes.
I thought Del Orso should have let that 3 fly. He took a tougher contested 2.
Daly has it stripped. Off the leg, the other way we go.
Great hands from Jaden Bradley. That looked like it was going to be an opportunity. opportunity for UCLA off that long miss. There you see it. Great hands by Bradley. That's clearly off the leg of Eric Daly Jr.
Bradley just 4 points, but Tommy Lloyd will tell you, he's the leader of this crew. Senior from Rochester, New York. Buries, and he's going to draw the foul against Dent.
Well, he got Donovan Dent off his feet just enough. Jeffrey Anderson signaled that there was contact to his hand. There's a little shot fake here. No, he bumps him going up. That's a good call.
Buries just 1 of 8 from the floor. He now has 4 points. But I don't care how highly touted you are, top 15 recruit, McDonald's All-American, all the things. Your 4th college game, you're back home in the LA area. You got all your friends and family here. There's some pressure on your shoulders.
Question. And you're playing one of the most storied programs in college basketball history.
But Tommy Lloyd says this kid is so good, but he has been held in check tonight. 5 points.
Well, the problem is guys like Koa Pete and Cam Boozer and DeBansa and Darren Peter, they've made this look so easy. Yeah. It's not.
That's going to go against Owaka. Seven fouls on Arizona, so bonus for Bilodeau and the Bruins.
How about UCLA shooting 9 of 14 from 3 tonight? They were shooting 29% from 3 on the season.
And Bilodeau's had his fingerprints all over that three-point shooting. He's hit 3 of them. We mentioned A.J. DeBansa, and he'll be playing Wisconsin next Friday on Peacock, one of our upcoming games. So many freshman stars around the country.
Look at that in and out. Look out.
Red Sea parted, and Bradley had ill intent. He'll have 2 at the line.
He loves that in and out dribble. It keeps that defender on the ball totally off balance. And I love that he's going to hammer this thing. Look at the way he shakes Sky Clark. So you're Clark, you got to make him use that. You know what? Aggressiveness is going to be rewarded at the rim. Xavier Booker gets him with the body. That's a heck of a play from Jaden Bradley. That dunk he had in the Utah Tech game was absolutely filthy. He's a great athlete.
Well, he was left off the point guard of the year watch list in the preseason. He's a quiet guy, said Tommy Lloyd, but he's a darn good player.
No question. And at the rim, he's phenomenal. 78% from the field on shots at the rim this season.
Makes it a 4-point game. Dent's been magnificent this second half. Going to work on the taller Owaka. Watch the shot clock. Clark, desperation. And Owaka cleans it.
That's a good defensive possession by Arizona.
Daly came in hoping to tie him up, but they whistle him for the foul.
There was a lot of dribbling there with Donovan Dent, and then it has to be a hero play by Sky Clark. Owaka had the basketball. Eric Daly reaching in there. Kind of hard to tell from that angle.
So now both teams in the bonus for the final 4:45.
This feels like the greatest regional high school game you've ever been to. Because you've got the UCLA chants, you've got the U of A chants. It's like the dueling sections are going to see who can top the other.
Even though we're 15 miles from Pauley Pavilion, U of A has a great crowd here.
Well, Arizona travels wherever they go. What a missed opportunity for UCLA. Krivas, great rebound.
Yeah, these Arizona fans, they've stepped it up tonight here. 17-footer, yes, for Jaden Bradley.
Xavier Booker was right there to contest, and he comes up a little bit gimpy there.
Now Clark attacks, stops, pops. Bilodeau stripped by Awaka.
They keep trying Awaka, and he has done a great job of moving his feet. Whether it's been Donovan Dent or Sky Clark the last two possessions, they've been getting him with mismatches, but he has held his own.
He is a big boy.
This is where, that challenge comes into play there. I think Tommy Lloyd was thinking about it, but ended up not doing it.
Remember, that's new in college basketball this year. You get one. If you're right, you get one more. Bilodeau! Bradley with a rebound.
Walker is so far in health that he's given up that shot to Bilodeau.
From the wing, Burry's missed it. Awaka able to save it. Bradley! And all of a sudden, both sides a little cold.
Well, that's one of those plays where you're thinking the basketball gods, with the effort that Awaka gave, a shot like that should go down.
Awaiting our final media timeout in what has been a heavyweight prize fight tonight. Dent will reset. 10 on the timer. He's got the bigger Awaka on it. Drives it. Step back. High in the air.
Keep trying Tobe Awaka, and he just keeps moving his feet. Doing his job defensively.
Yeah, he's been tremendous, number 30 for Arizona. Inside of 3 minutes. Del Orso. Yes! Cats back in front. And a timeout by Tommy Lloyd.
It continues on, and it sounds like there's discussions, but nothing concrete. These two teams need to play, and this has been a heck of a college basketball game.
Well, meeting number 115 at Dandy. It's just the 12th day of the college basketball season, folks.
This has felt like an NCAA tournament game.
It has. Clark, mid-range, no. Booker, offensive board.
What a pass.
Bilodeau, yes.
That was a phenomenal find. Xavier Booker at 6'11" is going down and taking that off the floor, and he just dimes up Tyler Bilodeau. That in-between shot can be hard for a lot of guys, but that's Bilodeau's bread and butter.
He's got 19. There's a senior from Washington. Inside. Good finish by Bradley.
Jaden Bradley just blew right by Tyler Bilodeau. He blew his doors off to the rim.
8 lead changes. Back and forth we go. 2 minutes to play.
They got the mismatch there. We'll see if they can find Bilodeau. Good job by Arizona switching that back on the weak side.
Sky Clark, yes! Another lead change. Well, you wanted a top 15 battle. You got it. Bradley looking inside. Krivas.
Gonna have to help.
They do, but that leads Bradley open, and he buries it. Pick your poison. (65-63). Now it's the Bruins' turn. Dent, no.
What a play by Awaka. Essentially, Donovan Dent, he knew he had the shot blockers coming over. He's just trying to get that thing up there for an offensive rebound. Jaden Bradley, quiet in the first half. He has been phenomenal here late. Blowing by Bilodeau. Then you see just spotting up. 2 of 4 from 3 on the season coming in. But at one of the biggest moments so far for Arizona, Jaden Bradley stepping up to the plate and knocking that thing out of the park.
30-second break here. Don't go anywhere.
I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my car insurance.
Please welcome Charles Woodson.
Unfortunately, I didn't check to see if anyone was watching before I stole cotton candy from a child. Checking Allstate first was really smart. Not checking the Jumbotron, not smart. Well, at least I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds. Was it worth it? Yeah.
UCLA just took their final timeout. 2 timeouts left for Arizona, who has the 2-point lead. And Bradley, a good game for the senior from Rochester, New York. 17 to shoot here for the Bruins. Where are they going, Rob?
I'd like to see them get a ball reversal and then get to their action with Donovan Dent, but it looks like they're just going straight ball screen. Get your matchup and go.
It's Bilodeau against Awaka. Fading. He wanted a foul.
Awaka, every time he's been tested here in this second half, he has answered that call.
About a 20-second difference between the shot and game clock. Bradley to the wing. Backs it up. Sky Clark all over him. Senior on senior. Bradley drives by him. Oh! High off the window! Two-possession game. Shot clock off. Donovan Dent. Yes! Right to the rim. UCLA did have one timeout remaining, and they took it right there with 19.2 to go in a 2-point game.
What a sequence, and what a response by Jaden Bradley here in this second half. If you're Sky Clark, you've got to make him use the screen. There can't be any turndowns. This is a filthy finish, Brandon. Xavier Booker is coming over to put this thing in the stands, and he just floats this up and fillets that thing home.
You know, the first half was about the defense. In the second half, Rob, yeah, there's been some good defense, but there's been incredible offense.
And the best players in the game have
rivals now in different conferences, but you wouldn't know it tonight. Inbounder is Burries. Gets it in. Del Orso is harassed.
Oh, whoa.
And he's pushed.
Boy, Del Orso caught that in a pretty tough spot to be. That baseline is essentially a third defender. Good thing for the Wildcats is that pretty much everyone on the floor is a good defender, a good free throw shooter.
You know, real quick, Rob, I don't know that the officials realize it, but there is a timeout discrepancy. UCLA has one listed in the arena and on our score bug, but on the official stat broadcast, they have no timeouts left. And it will be interesting to see how this gets reconciled if they need to call one.
I'm reading Mick Cronin's lips, and he just told somebody for UCLA that they have a timeout. I could see him say it.
Del Orso gets the bounce. Now the big one to make it a two-possession game.
It's still too early to foul at 17. I don't think we're to that time yet. That is, if he were to miss this. Obviously, you're not fouling if it's a 4-point game.
Well, I wasn't going to say it before, but Del Orso has now made 32 straight free throws dating back to last year.
And all Arizona fans, thank you immensely.
And those were big. UCLA needs something quick. Everybody in this building is standing. Clark. 10 seconds. Clark.
Well, this is taking a long time.
Hoists it up. No. Rebound to Awaka. Final seconds ticking off. And Arizona